I really do find it funny when you have a dog or cat and you try to do something that requires uh, silence. And as soon as you go to try to do whatever it is you were doing, the dog or cat decides they're going to cry and jump around on the ceiling above you. Um, and I was going to wait until he stopped, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. So you might hear a little bit of his bullshit, honestly. But either way, hello. My name is Max, and you might know me from a band called Autumn Fire, or Into Shadow is the band that I'm currently in now, or you might know me from playing and singing acoustic in different places, and friend that I've known for a long time, or anything along those lines. And here's another possibility: you may not know me at all, and but either way, this honestly isn't um, this isn't actually about my bands, really. I mean, yeah, we'll bring it up sometimes here and talk about what's going on and what's coming up with me, but we're doing interviews with musicians and friends that I know, or people that I know that I find really talented that have, you know, arts or anything that they're interested in that I've seen that I think is good, or maybe I don't know them and maybe I'll get to know them on the show, which I'm really excited about. Another big thing I want to mention is that this is an adult show. It's if there was a rating on it, it would be rated R. I mean, um, there's no you could say whatever we want. I mean, we're not going to be say anything inappropriate, but I mean, it's an adult show. Well, you might hear something inappropriate, and you might just hear the word fuck sometimes, because you know what? There's no plans of ever trying. It's never going to be on a TV show, or it's never going to be on a radio show. And this is something that we're doing because I think it's fun, and I think it'll be good. But it's an adult show, and also we're going to keep it underground. Ooh, spooky. I know a lot of people are afraid of trying to be politically correct. And for the most part, we will be on here. It's not really going to be about that at all. It's about music and having a good time and comedy. I've always been a huge fan of, like Howard Stern or, some radio shows and stuff like that. And you know what? I've always really, something personal about me is that I've always been interested in, when he interviews musicians and stuff like that, and then I've always see the kind of the funny like banter and the stuff that goes on when he interviews musicians and bands and stuff like that, and and I've always loved comedy and things like that. I mean, musicianship usually first in my eyes, but I wanted to have something that's fun, and there's music, and there's gonna be a lot of music information, what's going on in people's lives musically and things like that, and I'm gonna try to have it as clear as a conversation as possible. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna edit every single thing. I'm not gonna try to make it perfect. Right now I'm talking to you. I'm explaining to you what's going on. This is my first time doing this. And like I said, I've been trying to think about it for a long time. And I'm leaving the flaws and everything in there. You know what I mean? I mean, if they're really bad, maybe I'll take some out. But either way, I had a really good time talking to Dallas, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Thank you very much for listening. Just want to say hello to all you friends out there, family, Facebookers, tweeters, YouTubers, SoundClouders, all that fun stuff. This is my podcast, and it is called Music and Beyond with, well, you guessed it, Max Scialdone, or me. Um, this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and like anything else in my life, I've put it off. Which, if you know me personally. It's something that I do sometimes, but I try not to. It's one of my biggest problems, I would definitely say. But not to you know, I'll get into that. We'll get into that later. Um, but as you may or may not know, at this point, this is my first ever episode of Music and Beyond. So I'm still working out all the kinks. So don't judge. Anyways, this episode I got to talk to a good friend and wonderful, excellent guitar player, talented guitar player of the band Nine Ball, as a lot of you might know, from the area, Utica. And he had a lot to say. We had a lot to talk about, and it was really good catching up. And it seemed to go just the way I wanted it to. And like I said, good guy, great music, great musician, and check it out. Thanks for stopping in.
All right, how's everyone doing today? I was lucky enough to have Mr. Dallas Sheppard from the band Nine Ball today come and join us. And how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Max?
I'm all right. Just got out of the shower, you know.
I saw that, yeah. You answered the door naked. That was interesting.
No, I did. Not naked, but, pretty close. Pretty close to it.
And then I had to sit here for 45 minutes while you blow dried your hair. That was interesting.
No, that's not true, but all right. So, how's the ride? Long ride up, or what? Did it take a while?
Not bad. Put some music on, relax, sunglasses,
Yeah.
No, it's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah.
It's a nice drive anyway. It's a scenic view.
So you guys got practice tonight?
I do.
It is?
Yep.
Okay.
Over in Westmoreland.
Nice. Is that that's at whose house is that at?
Mike Chandler. He's our drummer.
Okay. So let's see here. When did you start playing with them? Like when did you start? About, give or take, if you know.
I went to music school in 2008 at Musicians Institute in California, and I got back to the area September of 2009, which was about the time they were going to do a reunion show after a 12 to 15 year hiatus. And they asked me if I'd do the show. I did the show. Everything went good, and that was about 5 years ago now.
And they didn't have anyone at the time that just...
The original guitar player, Jay Wiley,
okay,
wasn't available. So
nice.
I think he's out of the area, but they still talk to him. They're still friends with him, but I'm glad he wasn't available for that.
Yeah, because now you're playing with him.
I've had a good 5 year run to this point. So
you got 2 albums underneath you now, right?
Yep.
You guys
one self-titled, and then DNA came out last year, which I believe you're on a couple tracks, right, Max?
Yeah. Well, we'll come back. We'll come back around to that.
Right.
But so how did that? What did who called who? Did somebody call you or?
That's a good question. Well, did
you contact them?
I was jamming with a couple bands. I had my own project with my friend Mike Griffin and Jeremy Kozak. We used to be in a band called Hollow back in the day, and we've always kept in contact and continued to play. So I was doing that. I was playing with a band called Malice in Underland for a time.
I remember those guys.
Yeah, I did 1 year with those guys.
Only 1 year? But you weren't there when we all played together, were you? When we were in the same building there?
I'm trying to... Well, I was in Idle Hands probably at that time.
Yeah, you were in Idle Hands, and I remember seeing you, but Idle Hands didn't play in the building. It was above Pizza Classic, right? Just to let everybody know
we
what
had
we're
3 out of 4 rooms up there. So...
Yeah, but were you in the building then when I was in the building?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember ever hearing you guys... I remember seeing you, and I remember talking to you, and I remember all that.
It was probably between 2003, 2005, somewhere in there.
And just to let everyone know, we are referring to Above Pizza Classic.
That's important.
We used to play You guys played above Pizza Classic. Those are the good days. And I always have your gear smell like
Pizza for months.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I still have some stuff that smells like pizza.
I promise you do.
And I would always, I played bass at the time, so I used to carry
That's right.
a bass rig up and down the stairs because I'd bring it home with me every day.
When I met Max, he was a bass player.
I was a bass player. I wasn't a bass player then. I wanted to join the band, so I started playing bass.
See, I didn't know that.
No,
You were Max, the bass player.
I just learned how to play bass.
And what band? Strangle Siphon. Siphon.
Strangle
What the
Strangle
Siphon. Life Siphon.
Life Siphon.
There we go.
Yep. Those are the good days. So, where were we? Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, no. Okay. You asked if they approached me or if I approached them. I was jamming with a bunch of guys, and my other band was Chokeslam, which if you never saw us, you're probably lucky. No, we did cover songs, and that was Z from the Electric Company, Anthony Donaldson, Mike Johnson used to bartend there, Paul Fulham, and then again Mike Griffin. So Z and Joe are actually cousins, and I'm not sure if Z asked me or if Joe actually made the call.
Z and Joe Sweet are cousins? Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know that. The more
It's
you
true.
know. I
Yep.
guess.
See.
A little star goes across.
Well, yeah. Right.
Well, that's cool then. So then, seems to be some good stuff. Good stuff coming from that. So how about, let's say, tell me about your when you guys decide you're going to do an album. Start with that.
Meaning the process, like the writing process, or
Just the whole thing where you.
or are we talking the first album?
We'll start with the first album. Yeah, start with the first album. Whatever, just came. Were you sitting there saying, let's, practicing, and you had some songs, and you say, let's get together and let's put an album out. We love these tunes, or were they older tunes and then mixed with some new stuff? Like, what was the whole? Where did that come about? Like, how did that start? Or I guess, yeah, how did it start?
All right. Me as a musician, I always want to write something new, work on something new, and then try to put it on tape, one way or another. So whether it's a project or a collaboration, I like to get it out there. So the first practice with Nine Ball, we actually wrote the song Stand Up. And then from there, after X amount of practices, we wrote 3 new songs. And then we had the whole old catalog of stuff. So it only made sense to put it down on tape, because if you don't, it's gone forever, unless you were at one of those shows and it's only a 45-minute set. So.
Happened to catch it with a little, was it a Razor phone? Was at the time, or maybe it was.
Oh, you have a tape of it?
No.
Or
I'm just saying. You were saying that would be the only way you had it if you. Caught
Oh yeah, right.
If you were able to.
Yeah, if you
catch it
don't
live.
record that moment, then it's gone forever. So.
Yeah.
So
now you said that a lot of the tunes were old songs, the original ones that they used to have.
The 3 newer songs would have been Martyr, Stand Up, and Soldier Boy. The rest of them were from various stages of Nine Ball's past.
Okay. So let's say
there was a lot of lineup changes, and then there was crossover between members. But as far as Nine Ball, any of those songs, it was always Joe and Scott had a hand in the writing of all of those tunes.
Right. And so, but you'd say basically with that first album, though, you did like a little more than half of the writing with it.
Well, I took creative liberty. I mean, I tried to keep it true to what Jay's parts were originally, but obviously the new songs, I mean, those were my parts. The solos on some of the older songs, it was a mix. I kept some of his true to what it was, and then I did my own thing on some.
Oh, wow, that's great. So what? Okay, so when you first decided to go in the studio, what did you do then? Like, what was your for the first album? What did you decide you wanted to do, like, from that point? So you said you're going to get together. You said you had songs from when before you were in the band, and you had some from when you were in the band. So when was the point when you decided, like, how many songs did you just have those songs that are on the album and then say we're gonna go record those, or did you have a bunch and then decide, or did you have not enough and you wanted to write some more, or did you have, I don't know.
Yeah, no, good question. We did 9, and I believe we had 3 or 4 other songs, but I'm not sure what made us hold off, but we probably just didn't feel they were ready. So, for example, Teacher and Window were 2 of those songs, and they actually made it on the second album.
Oh, okay, so ones that didn't make the cut for the first one, you brought in later on.
Yeah.
That's
Those 2. Water was another one.
Yeah.
That didn't make the first round. And I think that's it. I think all the rest are new tunes. And moving forward, for the next album, it'll be all new material. I'll put it that way.
That would be the third album.
Yep.
Coming up, and it'd be all stuff that you haven't even touched at all yet.
Right. Some of which I started writing now, and some we're collaborating on and trying ideas. And I think anytime you put out an album, it should be that. It should be an album, not just a collection of songs. So it should kind of have a feel and some kind of direction to it. So,
like an overall feel.
Yeah. It should come from a point in time, I think.
The funny thing that you're saying that is that I've never thought that. I've never agreed more on that at this point, because I feel like it's each tune is about something different, but really in the whole it can be about one thing specifically and different parts of it, like maybe a story or just different aspects of it. Yeah, it's kind of I always like that.
And for me, I think it's kind of summing up a time period. I mean, the time from us releasing the last record from the time that we record the new one. I mean, life keeps moving and things keep happening. So you're kind of telling. It's kind of a small window into our worlds.
Yeah.
So
what was it like working with everyone at the time? Like, how was it? Was it a good workflow when you guys started? Did everything? I'd imagine. I mean, you get together once you're writing an album. I mean, things seem to be going good. But I mean, how was it in your? How's it like working with Joe and working with working with them guys?
Honestly, I've had the last 5 years have just flown by for me. Obviously, there's been intense moments where you're trying to raise money for the album, or sometimes you're writing a song and we might see things a little differently than one another. But overall, the nice part about Nine Ball is we come together as a group of friends and we write music. So it's not really like, oh great, I got to see this guy, and well, he always shoots down my parts and this and that. Like, it's pretty easy going.
Just the right amount of fucking around, pretty much.
Yeah, well, you've seen us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always feel like that in the band setting, when you're when there's all the guys there, it's you just have to have the right amount of it. You have to have the right amount of fucking around, the right amount of getting down to business and making it happen.
There's got to be some focus, otherwise nothing will ever get done. But
right.
So
where did you guys go? Where did you record the first one?
We did both albums at More Sound Studio in Syracuse.
Okay. Well, I'm familiar with where you did the second one.
You know what? Yeah. That's right. You were there, right?
Do you want to talk about that? Or?
Sure.
You weren't there for that, though. You weren't around.
I was recording guitar parts, I think, when you were doing your stuff.
Oh, that's right. You guys were sitting there, and I walked through, and you were like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, who is that guy? He's not in the band.
Wait a minute. He must be recording some of his own shit.
Right.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It's actually the vibe I got when I went in there. Is actually the feeling that I got is they're like, oh, because Joe called me. None of you guys called me. Yeah, and you guys were like, what the fuck? I hope it's not for us.
Well, I went upstairs and you were on 6 different songs. I'm like, well, that's not exactly a guest appearance.
Well, I always tell the story all the time about that album. Now, this album we're talking about is DNA.
Yes, the second album.
The second album. And I just thought it was funny because I'm up there and I'm hanging out with Joe and hanging out with Andrew, and I think Jocko was there too, but I think it was just me, Andrew, and Jocko, and we were hanging out there, and like Joe's like, "Yeah, I gotta go. Do some stuff. Do you know? I trust you." And that was actually it was funny. It was funny, but it was also a really cool moment because like I just was there and I just sang until I couldn't sing anymore and until it hurt, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do whatever. And then some stuff, most of the stuff I did stayed and some of the stuff didn't. And but I remember walking in and just seeing you guys sitting there, and they were like, hey man, what's up? It's like you didn't know I was coming, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. We probably didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he mentioned that you were going to be on it, which I'm like, awesome. That would be great. And honestly, it turned out far better than I thought it could have.
Yeah, I thought I got to be on
the album as a whole, not like your parts. I mean, I think you're a great singer. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, well, not the funny thing, but is like I feel like I was on there a lot, but it was still wasn't like over. I wasn't like too much. And it was just enough. It wasn't like, oh man, he's on every song and he's everywhere. And I am a lot.
Yeah, but it's all. It enhances any part you did.
Right, but it still got to be you guys.
Right, exactly.
And I think that it was just a neat thing to do. And it's funny because you guys had the day, and Joe's like, all right, I'm done. I was there for like 7 more hours, dude. Like recording. I'm not even kidding. I was in this booth and I'm like, I've never heard the songs before. I never did it. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're just putting some stuff here and putting some stuff there, and we were there. Like I said, I swear to
awesome.
you. I mean, I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think it was probably about at least 6 hours, like
full day
easily
of recording.
Yeah. And they just kind of, I just stayed until the time ran out, and then he's like, yeah, that's what Joe wanted. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
And Joe did a great job. Everybody did a great job. I really liked that album a lot.
Thank you.
That album. So I was really glad to be on it.
I'm glad you're part of it.
So let's see. Well, okay. Let's take a little detour. What do you think? What do you think made you want to do? Like, what was the first thing in your life that said, I want to play, or I want to be on stage, or I just like music and I want to have it more in my life and I want to create it? Or was there something in your life that said, yeah, that's it right there? Because I have those specific moments. I've whittled them down to a few different moments where I was like, oh my God, definitely. And I just didn't know if there was like one specific thing or a few specific a few different things specifically, just that kind of drew you in, or a certain kind of music, or some guy you saw on TV, or anything like that. Or
I'll try not to make this a life story, but
no, it's fine.
When I was 3 years old, my dad got me the Fisher Price. Yeah, we're going back.
Yeah, I remember everything that happened. I remember everything that happened.
So this, I'll keep it quick. No, I had a record player, and I remember from work, someone gave him it was Accept Balls to the Walls, and it was a 45. So that was like my first metal album, or like record anyway.
What was it? You said
Accept, like ACCEPT.
Okay.
Balls to the Wall, and it had Midnight Mover on the other side. Anyway, I don't know. I just remember enjoying music, and then Europe came out, the Final Countdown, so that was my first CD.
So your beginnings were not what I expected.
Well, there's some Billy Ocean in there, and probably some Michael Jackson too. But
love me some Billy Ocean.
And then once Queensryche came out with Empire,
then the world changed.
It did, because I used to want to be a singer. That's the thing. I thought.
Oh, you initially wanted to be a singer?
I did. Well, I just love melody,
dude.
And even in my guitar writing, it's more melodic than it is.
This is way not what I expected. I did not know that. I thought you just went for guitar and that's what you did. I thought it was more.
It was
more clear.
Well, between Europe's guitar players and Queensryche's guitar players, and I think I've always been shy too, to a certain extent.
So singing's not...
That's a little up front. So if I could make a statement on a guitar, that seemed like a good avenue. So I got my first guitar when I was 10 years old for my birthday, and
I thought you said you had a Fisher...
Well, that was my first stereo. But my first
stereo.
guitar I got at 10 years old.
Okay.
I still have it.
I must have just only listened to just a second of that
Little
part.
piece of it.
I mean, I listened to all the rest of it, but you said I thought you said no. Anyways, go ahead. So you got a guitar when you were like 10, you said?
Yep. And obviously I was horrible probably until I was probably about 20. But I don't know. I just music. It's not something I felt I had to pursue.
You've been playing.
It's something. It was just part of me. I don't know. I still want to do it, and when I'm not doing it, I feel like that's what I should be doing. So
You've been playing 7 years longer than me. You've been playing guitar for 7 years longer than me.
it's been 24 years this year.
Yeah, nice.
It's a while.
Yeah. I started when I was like 12.
And I still take guitar lessons.
Yeah, me
So
too.
you know,
Well, hey,
keep working.
you know, anyone, I think, there's the second you think you don't have any more to learn is
You're due for a wake up call, I think.
yeah. Oh God, then you see someone killing it, like like John Kelsey or something, guys like that,
Yep.
just ripping
Yeah,
it. And
John's
like,
a great player.
Oh, and you just hear it, and you're just like, oh shit, I'm gonna go back
Yep.
to go
There's
back
more to
down
work
the
on here.
fucking garage and work out. And, oh, so then so basically you've been playing straight on for that whole time.
I might have had like a little dip between like 12 or 13 to probably about 15, because that's when Megadeth came out with Countdown to Extinction, and and Master of Puppets. After hearing that for the first time,
Great albums.
yes, awesome albums.
Now, one thing before we get off that topic, you said that you wanted to be a singer originally. Did you try it at all? Like, cause
Well, yeah, unfortunately for my parents, when I was young, I used to put records on and sing,
and just sing to them.
and I thought I was probably great, but after hearing me talk, you can probably imagine what that sounds like.
You can never. I never ever think that you can actually judge someone's singing voice by their talking voice. I just don't believe it, because I feel. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that. You never know. Like what? What do you
Well,
just,
I'll put
just
it this
sing
way.
low?
I've heard my voice. I wouldn't do that to anyone. So.
You just have a regular. Your speaking voice sounds fine. It doesn't sound weird.
Yeah.
It's low. Yeah. It's low and dude-like, I guess. But
Thanks, dude.
thanks, dude. That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, it's like a mix between like Johnny Cash and like Billy Ocean. I don't know.
So then that's bad then.
No, I just personally, I'm not comfortable doing it. I don't like the way I sound. And I feel at this point I can get what I want to say across on my guitar.
And let's be clear, I'm not saying that that's bad. Those are both really great musicians. I'm just saying you think that's bad.
No, I actually appreciate both of them.
Right, me too.
I'm just trying to.
Well, you were like, well, those are the only guys I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, I like Billy Ocean a lot. And
No, actually, Caribbean Queen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a great song.
It is a great song, right? Totally. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I hope he's not saying that's a bad thing, because those are both awesome.
No, one of my mom's friends growing up, she used to. I'd play it over and over. Actually, that song, because I had the 45, so it ended up being a joke. Like, oh, is Dallas gonna play Caribbean Queen? So,
did you ever play it and sing it? Like, learn to play it on the guitar and sing it at the same time?
No, I mean, I was probably like.
So you didn't go
I
all
was
the
like
way.
5 or 6 at that point, So I was still
remember
like.
being that young?
I don't. Some things.
Some people
Come
told
on,
me.
you.
Some people told me about that shit, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess that happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, you always have like vague memories of like your old house or whatever it might be, but.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But I always do remember record collection and purposely just going to the player and putting things on.
What was your first record? Is that you?
CD or record?
Oh, what was your first? What was your first like?
The one that I bought, I was like, I gotta have that.
Well, you said you had the tape. The Accept? Is it?
Yeah, well, it was a 45.
It was a 45. Oh, okay.
Vinyl. Yeah.
Did
Do you remember that?
Did you say that earlier?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my God! Somebody's gonna call me out on this.
Hmm.
Or not paying attention.
Well, and then my first actual CD was
Well, I'll be honest.
Europe,
I was
Final
I
Countdown.
was listening and trying to get my next question for you,
Okay.
but I think to be fair,
Well,
I am
all
listening for the most part.
Yeah.
So you said your okay. What was your first CD that you got?
Europe, the Final Countdown.
Dude, I think mine was like the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack or something.
That was really good, though.
Awesome. That's the album.
99 Ways to Die was on that. Megadeth, right?
Zombie was on there.
Okay. Was there Alice in Chains probably too?
I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit on there.
You ever hear the Last Action Hero soundtrack?
I'm sure I've heard it, but I don't remember.
There's a lot of good stuff on that one too.
I'll have to dig.
You'll have to look into that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're on the Lost Highway. Everybody was talking about that for a while, right? They were though. You remember that shit?
No, I don't.
Lost Highway, I think. Yeah, that's some good stuff on that. I'll have to.
I'll look into that. You can look into it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link on.
Yeah, you
on
check out the
Facebook.
Lost Highway album, and I'll check the Last Action Hero soundtrack. Oh shit! All right. So let's see. So how did you guys? I guess in your band, how did you lost your drummer not too long ago? You didn't lose him. I mean, he moved away,
Yeah, we found him.
and you found him. Yeah.
Well,
He's a great guy.
yeah, Ken Delaney. When did Ken leave? He left last March, and actually, the CD release party for DNA, our second album, was his last show. But he was a manager at City Trends, which is a clothing store, and he got a job offer with a better paid position in North Carolina. So Ken has kids and children, and
He has kids
obviously
and children.
both actually. Yeah.
He has both.
Yeah. So
How many of each? I guess is
we're not sure. There's a couple.
nobody really knows.
Nobody
really knows it.
But there's a few. Nah, just kidding, Ken. If you're listening.
No, I love Ken.
He did what he had to do to make a better life for his family, and I mean, you can't fault someone for doing what they gotta do to make things right. So
every time you guys had a show, and if I was there or we were doing a show together or doing anything like that, I would always have like a long conversation with Ken, and I was glad that I got to do that before he left, and wherever he is, we hope he's doing the best.
yeah, Ken's doing great. He actually came to our last show, which was at Lucan's.
Did he? Oh, he came up and visited?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
nice.
He came to see one of his kids, and he
Not
got
his
the
children,
show.
though.
No, that's different.
So not both. You know?
Yeah, no.
So
Well, you can't mix it.
yeah, you can't have them like that's one.
That'd be
Yeah.
weird.
Someone's gonna get fucking pissed off. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Well, so so we started talking about the the possible where are you? So the second album came out what?
March 28th of last year.
Of last year. Okay.
Yep.
And you said there's talks. Have you written any new stuff, or are you guys kind of just?
I have a small collection of ideas, and at this point, I've hashed parts of them out with our drummer Mike, but nothing's set in stone. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, how's it been working? How has it been working with him?
Great. The nice part about Mike is it feels like he's been with us for a lot longer than he has.
Like
I'll
he
put
gets
that way.
it.
Yeah, he's a good fit, like personality wise.
Yeah.
He and that's pretty important when you're going to be spending a lot of time practicing writing, working with people, and then aside from that, Mike's a great drummer. So
Well, when we jammed that one time, I mean, he didn't even know the tunes, and I was like, yeah, I like playing with this dude. Like, and I didn't even really. I think I kind of acted like I didn't though at the time. And he was like, "Do you like it? Are you into it?" And,
Is that why you made him leave early?
I didn't make him leave early.
All right.
No, he's his drum set still in my basement right now. He still hasn't taken it yet.
Because you stole his stuff. That's right.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you leaving this here, and it's mine, and you don't have to worry
Thanks
about
for the
it.
drums.
Yeah, I got other
Thanks for
people
showing
coming
up.
through that need to play drums here, and you can't come back.
Right.
No, but that's why I hope we can get that thing working a little bit better. Which this interview is not about my stuff, but
Well-
nonetheless, I enjoyed jamming with him.
But I just did a show with you. Where was that? Want to tell us a little about that, Max?
Oh, you're doing the interview now?
Yeah, no, we're gonna switch.
Yeah, okay. We did the show. Jesus, no, I don't know if I'm answering questions, but we did my solo album. We just did it's me, you, Kelly, and Nolan. Right? There was nobody else, right? It was supposed to be Bob.
Right.
Supposed
We
to be
had a
Bob
couple
and
other
Mike.
people lined up, but
Which, I'll be honest with you, and just as I like I said, this is not supposed to be about me, but that's the ice maker.
oh, I see.
We'll wait for it to pass. We'll wait. We can wait.
I don't know if you can hear that, but
Oh,
refrigerators,
I can
I can
definitely
notice.
hear it.
Is it in there?
I can definitely hear it in the headphones. Hey, whenever you're ready, bud.
ambience. Don't worry about
Yeah, it's just the room. We need room sound. It's very in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Yeah.
it. All right. Now we're good.
I think it passed. Yeah. All right.
So
I think that
where
means
was the show,
I
Max?
think the refrigerator knows we have sufficient ice now. No, the show was. We went down to Newburgh, all of us, and it was a great time. And I really appreciated you guys helping me out. And
It was fun.
I know I said thank you a lot, but I really meant it because it was you guys had to drive all the way up here, and it was just. It was actually, and it ended up being a little more work than I thought it was going to be. But I think it'll be good if we can just kind of keep working on it slowly and, stay doing it. It's like nowadays, it's like bands don't break up. They just don't play for a while and then they play
Okay.
again. And then
Yeah,
they
I agree with that.
Now that we're like older, it's like, yeah, well, we're not playing now, but we're going to play in a couple months,
Now, was that the first time you've done that festival?
That's the first time I've done that festival. And, it was pretty fun. My
Yeah,
friend,
I had a good time.
He's-
It rained on us,
my buddy,
but
JD from Martyr Art. He's the one who put us on there, and I have him on a list to see if he wants to come do this show. And I'm sure he will. He's a good friend of mine.
nice.
And it was a good time.
And
good
we actually
food.
lined up 2 more shows with that same set in mind.
2 more shows.
Yeah, we're gonna do the music fest, and then
Oh yeah.
we're actually doing a benefit, which is gonna be.
benefit. That's on what's the date on that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
It's August
22nd, August 22nd, and then the music fest is the Utica Music Fest will be the 14th and 15th of this year,
which is
right?
your singer. And
No, maybe I'm
9/11.
wrong. Maybe it's September 11th.
No, it's
Might want to look
September.
into that too. That might be 11th, 12th.
The benefit is on the 22nd of August.
Okay.
Yep, I'm looking at it right here. Party as Max Scialdone Band and solo songs.
Actually, oh yeah, yep, for that one.
It's the 22nd. And then let's see here.
I think it's September 11th.
Yeah, it's the 11th.
Sorry,
Well,
not prepared with these dates.
It's the weekend of the 11th and 12th.
Okay.
Is the
And that booking is under Max Scialdone and the Jaywalkers.
and the J. Well, yeah, that's where we named you.
Schnookums.
Your Schnookums and Nolan's J-Wagon.
Yeah,
And
yep,
it
that's
just
right.
took. And I said it at the show like 4 times. Like, all right, J-Wag solo.
Schnookums
And
on rhythm.
Nobody cared.
I don't think they care now. But it's funny to us.
But to me, it was it was super funny. It was great, and so that'll be fun. And I like I said, I really enjoyed it. It actually made me. It took on. And I won't say much more about it because again, this was your interview, but
I was there though.
you were there, right? So it's part of something that you're doing, and it's with me. You're right. You're right. You're right. And I'm gonna see about Nolan coming on here and doing this too.
Nolan's an awesome guitar player.
Isn't he?
He is.
He really is. And it's not even about his skill, which he does have a lot of skill. It's about his.
He just has the right feel for the songs. Like he knows
what's going on.
What and he's like a master with his effects too.
He's master with his effects, and he's random. And we're talking about Nolan Snyder, and he is our other guitar player for the Max
Scialdone and the Jaywalkers.
And it's not called that, but it actually is hilarious.
That's what's going to be on the bill.
Well, it'll be on the bill. Yeah. They like that rider. They all got a kick out of that.
Yeah, we still gotta get our rider for the music fest. But
like, you really want a rider? Like,
Joe,
no.
If you're listening, that's on its way.
Yeah.
We're doing our final revision now.
That was so funny. So let's see here. So we were talking about your third album. Do you know what you're gonna? Do you know where you're gonna go for that?
Honestly, we're so comfortable with Jacko.
They just do such excellent work.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? he's definitely gone the extra mile with both albums for us. So
he always does.
I think it's kind of foolish to have blind loyalty, but I truly just trust his work, and I enjoy working with him. So
I think it's
at this point in time, I think that's the best option for us. So.
Well, it's not really blind anymore. I mean, but
I mean, opportunities come, and
right.
The
thing is, though,
maybe that came out wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
Fine.
Like you should. I trust him, and I think that's pretty important.
Well, you trust him to do a good job.
And we have similar vision when it comes to what the end product should sound like. So
I think he just crafts it in such a way that is very. It just turns it into just even if you give him like shit, even if you give him like a tracks of shit, he'll just craft it into something wonderful and into something.
He'll take the strength out of whatever's there, and
it makes it listenable into like a quality. Like he just puts things in the right spot, and like,
he's a master of his craft.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
He can,
which I'm working with him on the next thing I'm doing.
Nice.
Too with Z and Dave Sned and Pete Franchell.
Now, when's that come out?
That'll be, well, we'll talk about that
at a later.
Yeah, at a later date. So, and let's see. We have okay. So when's to sum it up then, when do you think, or not when do you think, but when's the next time you guys are playing?
The next show will be this Friday, which is, July 24th or 5th? I'm not good with dates. But that'll be at the Devereaux. I believe we're doing 2 45-minute sets.
Well, today's the 21st, and
it's Tuesday.
Tuesday's booze day.
Every day is booze day.
Every day is booze day. Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
No. So you said you guys are playing Saturday at...
Or Friday at the Devereaux.
Friday at the Devereaux.
Yep.
Okay. Who with anybody else?
There's a couple other. I don't have the details.
You don't have the deets?
I don't have the deets. But if you're friends with us on Facebook,
yep.
9-Ball Utica.
They can find you.
Yeah, we always post the latest date that's coming up. I know next month we're playing World of Beer in Syracuse.
Acoustic? Is that acoustic sets?
It is an acoustic set.
How's that go when you do that? Is that fun? How's that fun?
I'm not a big fan of playing acoustic, to be honest. It's a completely different animal than playing full rock guitar, loud,
There's nothing wrong with acoustic.
No, there's not. Well, I'll say this.
There's like 100 of them in my house.
You got to work a lot harder. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think
in every way.
I think we all experience that well, I mean, I do that all the time. That's what I do is acoustic. But I think that we all as a together we all like really experience that, and it was like, holy shit, playing acoustic for it's nothing like an electric guitar.
No,
you have to work
different.
for every sound you get out of it.
Yep.
And even if the guitar plays amazingly well, you got to work for it.
You got to pinch every bit of sound out of that.
Yeah,
thing.
you got to. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, after 2 months of doing, actually probably more than that,
But if you
between your set and Nine Ball's acoustic sets, my hands were stronger, more articulate. It was actually a really good experience for my playing. So I don't have a problem doing it for that reason alone.
That and the thing about acoustic guitar or any guitar, I would say, in my experience, is if you don't keep doing it, you don't get to keep it.
Use it or lose it type thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, you'll always be able to play.
Well, you remember what you're supposed to do.
Right. Well,
But
yeah.
your hands won't do it.
Yeah, and it won't keep at the level, like when you put your guitar down after a long night of practicing or woodshedding or whatever you like to call it.
Yep.
I feel like when you put the guitar down, that what you can play that moment is like you're at your most, the best you can be at that time, because you've really you're holding the guitar just the way you want to get everything.
Yeah. Well, you're
set.
warmed up, obviously, so you're in sync with it, I guess.
Right. And if you don't play, you let a couple days go by, you literally start to lose a little bit of that. At least in my
No, I agree with that. Yep.
And then you're playing.
Don't practice for a week or two, and
you're like, why won't this guitar work for me? God damn it.
Yeah, and even the tones sound different.
Yeah, and it is,
Using your guitar, your settings, and just something feels weird. It's a little off, But nice.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Max,
And,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Dallas Sheppard, guitar player of Nine Ball, and also guitar player of
Max Scialdone and the Jaywalkers.
Max Scialdone and the Jaywalkers, Jaywigs and Schnookums, I guess is their nicknames. But the band is Max Scialdone Band, or Max Scialdone and the Dudes.
There you go.
And like I said, thank you for coming on the show. And their next show is this Friday, the 21st, at the Devereaux. And you can find them on Facebook, and they got a couple albums out. They're both available on iTunes, correct? Or at least the second one is.
You can find them both on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, you can get them both on there and buy them on there. And the first one
sounds
is
bad. I can't remember if it made it to iTunes or not. But
well, the first one's Nine Ball, and the second one is DNA.
Yep.
I really like the artwork on that second one.
Both the albums were done by Brendan Flynn, who's in a band called Freya.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player for them, and he's an incredible artist. So
Yeah.
We liked what he did the first
love
time,
that.
and then he did the second one. So
Love that.
But great, Max. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Episode 1, Music and Beyond with Max Scialdone. I had a great time, blast talking with Dallas, and we got some cool names coming up for the next episodes in the future. I don't have dates on when they're going to be coming through, but thank you so much for stopping by, and like I said, I had a great time. Hope you did too, and I'm new at this, so don't judge. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah. Hope you check out this one and the next one. Take care.